Alright everybody, so we're here today to talk about another arc in One Piece. This is actually a filler arc, goes by the name G-8. To be honest, I heard a lot about this arc. When I started my journey, people were saying, just wait till he gets to the G-8 arc, oh my goodness, the G-8 arc and stuff, and I thought that was a bad thing, and I'm gonna tell you right now that I enjoyed the G-8 arc. I didn't think it was that bad. It was filler, don't get me wrong. You can definitely tell it's a filler arc, but out of all the filler arcs, it's one of the better ones. Might be my favorite out of all the filler arcs I've seen. I don't remember. I would have to look at all of them, but it's pretty good. It's not super long. Here, let me look. It only consists of 11 episodes, so it's really not that long. So, and apparently it's filler, but this is where they drop down from Skypiea in this. So in the manga, I don't know how it happens. I actually have picked up reading the manga, but I'm only in like volume 4 or 5. Here, they're dropped down from Skypiea, and they're in the middle of this Navy base called G-8. And so the spotlight's on the Mary, and well, the Straw Hats are here. We got to capture them. The Straw Hats split up and all go do their own thing. That's usually what happens in filler arcs. Sanji and Luffy get paired up as they're mistaken for cooks, like famous cooks, which Sanji is, but Luffy's not. Luffy wants to eat everything Sanji's making while Sanji's making it. There's a really, really funny scene that I've seen a lot of. I think it's actually pretty popular. It might have even been a meme of Luffy being like, that comes from this arc, which is filler. It's really funny. If you haven't seen that, you should go just at least watch that scene. Like, I guess like look up Luffy fourth wall break. Zoro loses his swords in a bush and then gets caught while trying to get them. Like, Zoro gets caught super easy. Usopp, I think, tries to like disguise himself as a Marine, gets caught very easy. The thing about Usopp getting caught is that Robin shows up and she has beaten up an officer and taking his clothes and is like posing as him. And she's like, yeah, that's a Straw Hat. Lock him up. And Usopp's like, Robin, why would she do that? It's really funny. Which we'll get back to that in a little bit. Chopper ends up actually like in the medical part of the base, helping people. Nami, I don't really remember. I think she's running around just trying to find everybody. As I was saying, the Luffy part is very funny. But one of the funniest scenes / gags, whatever you want to say, in One Piece comes from this arc to me. The guy that Robin takes the clothes off of and like steals his getup gets thrown in the brig with Usopp and Zoro, and he's like, unhand me, you know, I'm a Navy officer, I'm here, I think he's like an inspector, I'm here to inspect this base and this, and he's just telling the guard, you got the wrong guy, you got all this, and he ends up name dropping his name, and then Usopp realizes that's the name that Robin said she was. So Usopp's like, oh, this is who Robin's pretending to be. So Luffy's just like, not Luffy, Usopp. Usopp's just like, shut up, dude. We're made. They got us. And Ginger's like, who the heck are you? And then Usopp starts playing like he's delusional. Starts calling him Condoriano. Gives him a name. It's like, Condoriano, no, they've wiped your memory or all this. And the guards are like, well, that settles it. He's one of them. And then Condoriano's like, no, you must come back here. He's lying. He's framing me. And this. And then you hear Zoro go, Condoriano. He goes, huh? And Zoro like headbutts him and is like, shut up. And it's so funny because Zoro's like just like asleep while Usopp's doing all this, and Zoro's finally like, okay, I've had enough of all this. That's one of the hardest times I've laughed out loud in One Piece. That whole bit there is hilarious. I think they all end up getting thrown in the brig, but Robin and Nami and Chopper. Nami ends up with Chopper. But the bars are made of sea prism stone, so Luffy can't just break out. So I think Usopp ends up using the impact dial to get them out, if I remember right. And then there's this big old thing, and the villain, the guy that's in charge of the whole base, his name is Jonathan, and he's got this big old mustache. He's not my inspiration for my mustache, but he does have a big old mustache. And he's the antagonist, but he's not like a villain. Him being the antagonist is very interesting. He's one of my favorites, just because he's like kind of chill about everything. He doesn't seem like super evil. He's like, yeah, we need to capture the Straw Hats, but like he also like kind of respects them, I feel like. And it's a very nice shift. It's very different from all the other One Piece villains to me. And while I was watching it, I was just thinking, like, if they adapt this live action, which I don't think they will, since it's filler and technically not canon, I guess. But I would love to see like Owen Wilson or Jason Sudeikis play him, because is it because Mobius and Ted Lasso have mustaches? Possibly, but also I feel like they could both be like that menacing, but also like have like the heart. Like I could see Owen Wilson yelling like, "You need to get them now," you know, and this, and like, but also being like, "Wow, they're not that bad," you know, like, no, let them do this. I want to watch, you know, like I just like kind of like he's got the charm. I feel like Jonathan had like a charm too. I feel like Owen Wilson could do it, and I feel like Sudeikis could do it too. What y'all think about the G8 filler arc? Like me personally, like I said, I think it's one of the best filler arcs out there in One Piece that I've seen so far. I think they say filler becomes less once you pass the time skip. It's more just like pacing. It's more of like a pacing issue than a filler thing. Currently, I'm in Punk Hazard. I think I forgot to tell y'all where I was at the last time I made a One Piece review. Next, we'll be talking about Long Ring, Long Island. That should be fun. And after that, we'll be talking about Water 7. And Water 7 is where my notes come in. Someone on YouTube comments told me, you should be taking notes while you watch One Piece. I'm like, I probably should be. And I think that was around Water 7 when I started doing that. So I feel like the reviews will become a little more detailed once that happens. So let me know what y'all think about the G8 filler arc. Like I said, I think it's pretty dang good. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Check out my other One Piece reviews. Stay in touch for the upcoming ones. And yeah, I'll see you next time.